Hi, folks. I'm Jamie Hiles.
I'm Lydia Judy.
I'm Derek Master.
This is Scream Bloody Movies, the podcast where we review a horror movie each week. We go over the horror news. And guys, have you ever just went to like a spooky ass house in the middle of like a bog and then just hung out with some really eccentric people and then, find out that the house may be evil because of the evil of the family? Because if you
No,
have, then you were actually living in the House of Usher, which we are doing tonight. It's not a thing that happens often, you wouldn't think, but this movie has been adapted so many times. This Poe story has been adapted so many times that it fucking happens to everyone, apparently. Everybody runs into this situation. How are you guys doing tonight?
doing good.
Hmm. Yep, that's what I'm saying. I'm here.
Getting into the spooky season, it's starting to feel like the falls. And, it is fall, but it's starting to feel like fall here in the Midwest. And we are excited to bring you the first of our Halloween segment of the show, our Halloween season. So this is Halloween season number 5. And as you know from last week, and at the top of the show in the thumbnail, we're doing 1960s House of Usher, starring Vincent Price and directed by the great Roger Corman. But guys, before we dig deep into the House of Usher, we've got a little bit of horror news that we got to go through. And being in the Halloween season, we might as well start off with this. Remember how we talked about the Halloween the game not too long ago? Remember I showed you guys
Oh yeah.
screenshots and pictures of it, and it looked really cool, right? Well, guys, now we have a release date, and we have a little bit of gameplay mechanics and kind of what the story mode of the game is, the single player mode. So it is releasing on September 8th of next year. September 8th, 2026 is when this comes out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC via Steam and Epic Game Store. And here's the thing, guys. So on this, either on both the single player or the multiplayer, you can play as Michael Myers. Obviously, you play as the Shape. If like Friday 13th, the game where some people were citizens and some were the Shape. Well, we got a single player mode here as well, and this story takes place on Halloween night, 1978. And if you're the Shape, you have to locate. So you have to mark a. There's a bunch of NPCs around, just living their lives, unaware that you're there, and you have to stalk and kill as many NPCs before the end of Halloween. So you have to you have to set it up. You have to stalk these non player characters and slash them. And you
That's
use
wild.
pretty cool, like you can use different weapons, but there's also like a shape mode where you kind of are invisible. Like, it's their interpretation of how Michael Myers just appears out of nowhere. The Shape is just there. Uh, so that's if you're playing the Shape as the citizens, as civilians, that you're playing as the hero characters. You get to choose from a bunch of hero characters. You have to warn the NPCs about the Shape, and you have to try to survive and stop him. You can call the police and attempt to make them believe that the Shape is there, because that's a Halloween movie trope. Michael Myers isn't, he's not back. He's always back, and it's Dr. Loomis screaming at him. And I think we haven't got this reveal yet, but we saw pictures of Dr. Loomis. I think the mechanic's going to be similar to how Friday the 13th the game was, where if you make a call, you do something in the right set of orders, you get Loomis to show up. Because they did the same thing with Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th, and Tommy Jarvis could actually kill the Shape or kill Jason, whereas Dr. Loomis can probably end the Shape because they show it here. One of the things said you can slow down the Shape and they show him not shooting him and stuff, and it said, "But you can't kill the boogeyman," and he does like the setup.
Oh,
So it's gonna be great, you guys. What do you
that's gonna
think?
be awesome. I heard like when you were describing it, I kind of heard like the music sting come in, like when he like appears, and I was just like, yes, dude, that was so good. It's gonna be great.
What do
Sneaking
you think?
Sounds
around.
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool, right? I can't wait to play it.
Guys, you know what? You made me depressed.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what do we do?
You know why? It's because you can't do this anymore. Renting a game on a Friday night.
Oh, yeah, it was the best.
Yeah, it was magical. Like you had the whole weekend to try to like beat the game. Pizza, soda, video games, maybe a movie.
Oh yeah, definitely a movie. There'd be one in there. Yeah, video
Yeah,
game.
yeah, and like video games now are like take like months to even
Oh yeah, if you.
complete.
But that's a good thing. I mean, you're getting your money's
It's a
worth.
good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, but
Yeah.
like you couldn't even set up a scenario where you're like renting a game for a night because you would just be like, well, I learned how
Well,
to play it.
yeah, it's just to figure out how to play it and see if you want to buy it. I mean, that was the purpose
Right.
of video game rentals. I mean, that's why I did it. I was be like, hey, let me rent this game, and then it's like, oh, I really like this one, I'll buy it. There. I remember one of the most disappointing. I rented. I know this is off topic. We'll be back on topic here in a second. But I rented Terminator Salvation for the PlayStation 3 when it came out, right? And I was so excited because the graphics looked really cool in the box. I didn't even know the game was coming out. I just happened. I went to the video store after work one day, and it was there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check this out." So I rented it and got it, and it was pretty cool, guys. That game is like 3 hours long. Like literally within the first night of renting it, I beat it. Dad came up to check it out. He was like, "Oh, what's this?" It's like this new Terminator. Check it out. And he's like, "Yeah." And then I remember going downstairs. He's like, "Oh, you're not playing Terminator anymore?" I was like, "I beat it." He's like, "What?" I was like, "The game's like only 2.5 hours long. It's the shortest game I've ever played in my life." And they were charging $60 to buy that thing. I was like, "You're out of your goddamn mind." And it had
That's
no
crazy.
replay
I feel
value.
like I feel like I remember. I feel like we never bought games. We would rent them and then like have like a little save on the SD card, and then like get it again next week.
Yeah,
Try to
we do
get
that too.
further.
That was a thing. Yeah, that was a thing too. Back in Derek and I's olden times, it was like a Super NES game, and you just tried to get us through as many levels as possible. But
Right.
some of them didn't have saves, so if you died, you'd have to restart at the fucking very beginning.
Yeah,
I remember
that was the
there were some
hard one.
there were
Like
some consequences for dying back in the day.
fucking what am I thinking of? Sonic. Sonic didn't have that. Like
Oh yeah,
on
no,
the
yeah,
original.
no, you had
Yeah,
to just beat it.
didn't have
You had
that.
to beat those games.
Yep.
I remember Morecraft and I rented The Mask on Super Nintendo for some reason. It just was a new game, and we were up all night trying to beat that thing. We got pretty far, and every time we just get a little farther than die, had to restart. And I remember we got so far, we're like, "Oh man, we're doing so good," and we died, and we were just like, "I do not want to have to play all of those again." Like it's so demoralizing. But back to the horror news. Sorry for that tangent, guys. It looks like Zach Kreger says we might be getting a Barbarian physical release now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, physical media release. He can't say too much, but he said that there is movement on that front, which is incredibly exciting. I'd like to own that movie. I think all movies should get a physical release, um, physical media over streaming any day. So that's good news, right? I mean, especially since it's happening relatively quickly, because remember how long it took for Hush to get a physical release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys, this bit of news is weird, but exciting. So, Tim Heidecker and Eric Warheim are writing a horror script. We don't have a name for it, but he says we're actually writing a horror movie that's going to be much sicker than most people are going to want to watch. We'll see if it gets made, is what he said. So you guys know Tim and Eric, right? Of course.
Right.
Can you name something?
I just
I'm
did,
bad
Tim
with
and Eric.
names. No, like that they've done.
Lydia.
That was their show.
Yeah. It's like, feel like
Their
I'm in
show
an
was
Abbott and
awesome.
Costello sketch. Their show was called Tim and Eric's Awesome Show, Good Job.
Yes, the main thing they're known for is called Tim and Eric.
Yeah, Tim and Eric's Awesome Show, Good Job.
Okay,
They're also,
I don't.
I can see how you would have missed it though. It's not like everyone.
Derek, you know the John C. Reilly memes where he's like the weird doctor?
Yeah.
That's from Tim and Eric.
Interesting.
Or if you ever seen Decker, which is the funniest fucking shit. Tim and Eric
TV
are
show?
acquired. Not Becker with Ted Danson. I said Decker.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
It's Tim and Eric are off the wall humor. Their humor is an acquired taste.
An Adult Swim show.
It's an Adult Swim show, and they're an acquired taste, and they are.
I can't swim, so I guess that makes sense.
I personally love Tim and Eric.
Really bad.
Yeah, you wouldn't be on Tim and Eric.
I never got
actually,
into
you probably would. You probably would with that joke. It's so unfunny.
Yeah, make fun of me
that
now.
it would be funny. That's the Tim and Eric formula, right?
Yeah, that's where Derek fits in comedy.
Yeah, just unintentionally hilarious.
I practiced that joke for years. That was just the perfect opportunity to make it. So.
Oh my god. So that's going to be interesting. When comedians do horror, sometimes it's really good, right? Like obviously Jordan Peele, Zach Kreger. It's so,
yes.
See what Tim and Eric.
Two of the best, dude. I love them both. They're so good. There's something about horror and comedy that really do go hand in hand.
Well, yeah, it's because they're both based off of timing and shock value.
Mm-hmm.
So a joke you kind of shocks you, and a scare shocks you. And they're both also very interactive, and they're, like I said, they're both timing based. Rhythm. That's why Derek cannot do comedy.
That's so rude.
He's got the rhythm of Steve Martin in The Jerk.
I mean, I'm not a good dancer. I will be the first to admit that.
And then finally, last bit of horror news. You sent us this earlier today, Derek. We talked about it, but we do have the trailer for It, Welcome to Derry. And what'd you guys think?
I didn't watch it. I forgot to watch it. I saw a picture, though.
So, it's an expanded universe. And it looks fucking great.
It does look pretty good.
It looks really good, yeah. When I watched it, I was like, looks legit. I'm pretty excited. But yeah, there's definitely like breadcrumbs of a larger universe, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, and also apparently, I read earlier that the character of Dick Halloran is going to be in this from The Shining.
Interesting.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So it premieres October 26th, and we will be checking that out for sure. You know how we feel about we like the It movies. We thought they were solid. And that wraps up the horror news. So, guys, House of Usher. I can't say picture it. It's 1960 because, let's face it, only Derek was alive. But
funny.
Gets you every time, doesn't he, Derek?
Got it. No, but Lydia, you picked this. So obviously you have seen this multiple times. Derek, have you ever seen this movie?
Nope.
Well, yeah, because it's from 1960. Of course. Derek isn't known for watching older movies except for from the 80s. Basically, 70s and 80s is where it usually was for Derek when it comes to older movies. Yeah. I have seen this movie before. I've actually watched it several times, but I remember the first time I watched it. You'll never guess where. Actually, you might. You know where? School.
Really?
We watched
Really?
this in a lit. Yep, in a lit class because
Very cool.
we were doing Poe, and
Hmm.
so we watched House of Usher. So yeah, uh, Vincent Price, who we all love, is in this. It's a Roger Corman picture, so you know what that means. It's a Roger Corman picture. That means it was done on the cheap. The budget for this thing was $300,000 because that's the Corman way. But damn, did Roger Corman know how to stretch a buck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Because this looks like one of the more expensive ones that,
It is
you know,
one of the
kind
more
of.
expensive Corman movies.
Yeah.
It is a more
Yeah.
expensive Corman movie. But and Roger himself directed it. Sometimes, he's a prolific producer as well. But this, he actually helmed this one. Um,
Yeah, even by today's standards, that would still be a low budget horror
oh yeah,
movie. The conversion's about 3.2 million.
yeah. So it'd be a lower budget, lower budget horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was not like a bank breaker. That's not what he made. Uh, but guys, the talent they got behind this thing is pretty remarkable because we have Floyd Crosby doing the cinematography, um, and he has so many credits from 1931 to 1967. This guy shot movies. You know, uh, a big long list of credits, including a little film you might have heard of called High Noon. You guys, So I mean, he was around and he made a couple of bangers, and then worked with Corman in the '60s. And guys, most importantly, we got Richard Matheson to write the screenplay, which is sci-fi horror royalty. Richard Matheson is the writer of I Am Legend. That he wrote the actual novel of I Am Legend, and
Okay.
wrote Duel for Spielberg. Um, I mean, the Twilight Zone movie. I mean, gosh, the stuff he did is so like numerous, and I mean that's short stories. But then in film, I mean, he created Kolchak, the Night Stalker. He, you know, he's an all timer. So when I saw Richard Matheson, he wrote some of the best Twilight Zone episodes. When I saw his name pop up in the credits, I was like, ah, yes, we are
Very
going to be
interesting.
we're going to be in very capable hands
Yes.
with this adaptation.
That's
So
crazy because all week Jake has been watching Black Mirror, and I can't help but I'm just like, this is just Twilight Zone, like, the whole
well, yeah,
time.
Black,
And
yeah,
yeah, you know how it is if you've seen it, but
yeah.
I just keep making connections to the great Twilight Zone episodes that
Well,
I'm just like,
yeah.
I see what you're doing.
I mean, the Twilight
So,
Zone.
and then watching this in the middle of that, I was kind of like, it's still in Twilight Zone mode in my head.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
Because
Twilight
I'm just like,
Zone.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
better than Black Mirror, but that's just me.
Well, Twilight Zone is literally the original Twilight Zone series is some of the best television writing of all time. Like
Truly.
the writing of those shows for hour long uh, anthology stories were fucking amazing.
Yes.
Like,
And they stick with you.
yeah, Matheson wrote a chunk of them, and of course, the major writer on those and the creative head was Rod Serling. Uh,
Yes.
Hats off to the master.
Yeah.
Ray Bradbury also wrote a couple of banger episodes. Another sci-fi horror legend. But guys, where do you want to start with this? I think I want to start first with the production design. What do you think? What What do you guys, Derek? This is your first time watching this. What did you think of the production design in this movie?
The production design in this movie was pretty awesome. I would have loved to have fucking visited that house, man.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
um, yeah, the interior of the house looked beautiful. It was creepy enough that you're just like, okay. That the guy who lives there with them, I'm sure, like their house servant, he needs to step up his job. Let me tell you, stop making food and grab a broom, bro.
Fucking that motherfucker, all he does is make gruel, it seems like. He's
That's
just
the only thing he does.
fucking stirring some gruel. He's a gruel making machine.
But the aesthetics of the
some
film,
gruel?
they look beautiful. And there's I've got things about the cinematography too, so.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Because I think the cinematography in this movie is fucking great, actually.
Oh yeah, there's a scene in this movie for being in the 1960s. It was like really dynamic. It was
Very
a scene
dynamic
where
blocking.
Vincent Price is in a chair, and the guy Philip was like,
Philip, yep.
He had just come in, and then there was a transition where he walked, and you're just like, damn, for 1960, that was pretty good.
Dude, there's a shot that I noticed that, picked it up as soon as the movie started. The dynamic camera work and the very creative blocking by Corman. And when they come in and we're kind of like up like a bird's eye view of them, and we turn the camera with him to settle down here with him while he takes off his boots. Then we have the insert cut so that way he's gone. But we stay right there for when they raise up, and we follow them up the stairs. Track with them up the stairs into the next. I was like, this is some fucking dynamic camera work and some really clever blocking. Some good stuff.
You know that was not easy.
No, because you have some big, bulky cameras on cranes. This wasn't. I mean, now we could do that shot. It'd still be difficult to get the timing, the framing, and stuff. But now you can do it with the camera on a gimbal.
Yeah,
and make it easier. I mean, they did have flyaway walls and what have you, because I mean, the thing was definitely shot on a soundstage.
mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, the cinematography, the dynamicism of it is pretty great. Let's talk about our characters, because we have Philip, who strolls into town. The one thing I will say that I want to talk about, the copy I watched of this movie. Did either of you have just 2 minutes of blackness before the credits?
Yes.
Yes. I thought
the movie was malfunctioning.
Dude, I did too. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I thought the movie was malfunctioning. And then I was like, man, let me restart the whole. I fucking quit the app and restarted it. And then
I did
really.
I was like,
I just fast forwarded. I just fast forwarded, and I was like,
yeah, I ended up fast forwarding and getting to it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I was like, that's just like the ambiance.
The 3-minute orchestra at the beginning.
prelude. The prelude.
Why would you have a black screen for that? That is the wildest thing.
I know. I was so confused. Then the actual credits started, and I was like, I guess that's fucking supposed to be there.
Yeah, I did the same. And I was like, I bet these guys are doing this too. I wonder if it had anything to do with like the stuff that they used to do with
I think it was the prelude.
Movies.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like with like things happening in the actual theater.
Yeah,
like if they have lights, like lighting changes that were just like really getting you in the mood.
Maybe. But it was really awkward, and I'm glad that they kept it there because that's how the movie was intended. But I was like,
yeah,
what the hell is going on? And then when the credits start, you're like, it threw me for a loop because I was like, man, these are fucking gorgeous colors just popping up, and it's just really dynamic and interesting to look at. And I was like, I just looked at a black screen for fucking 3 minutes. I didn't know what to expect after this. Never remembered this.
Yeah.
So they must have fast forwarded through that in school. I don't remember that.
That is crazy, isn't it? Man.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about our characters. Like I said, we have Philip, who is he's basically he's the fiance of the sister Thorpe. What the heck is her name? Drawing a blank. Madeline. He's the fiance of Madeline. Roderick is her brother. Derek, you're muted this whole time. Whatever you're talking about is just.
I was trying to say her name.
Oh, so you just screaming into the void, idiot!
Well, no, I mean I was talking normally. I thought you could hear me, so I said Madeline.
He's like, it's Madeline, guys. It's Madeline. Madeline's like, I don't know what the fuck her name is. It's Madeline.
The way the cookie crumbles.
Guys, it's Madeline. I can just see Madeline.
Eventually, I'm like, it's goddamn Madeline.
What's his name? Derek, are you saying something? You're muted.
I know you can hear me.
That's hilarious.
Rude.
But anyway, so what do we think of our cast of characters? We also have the weird caretaker guy. His name is Bristol, played by Harry Ellerby. So this has a very small cast, 4 characters.
4 characters.
Yeah. What do you think
That's
of this? What do you guys think of the performances from these guys? Let's start with Philip, and then we'll work up to Vincent Price. What do you think of Philip?
I personally thought Philip was a little, kind of stiff in the beginning.
He's a little
He
wooden.
kind of came around.
Yeah.
He kind of came around when he got some emotional scenes. I mean, I think he was supposed to be wooden because that's just how.
Well, he's kind of 50s actor. He's kind of doing the 50s actor thing.
Oh,
which
is
absolutely where like the
hair
where they do show him is a little too.
His
you know what I mean?
hair was so 50s. Also,
they're getting the brand out. The Brando kind of thing is what he's going for at certain points.
For sure, which is kind of like you kind of want something else from this movie, from this character. But
he's fine though, and I don't think he's bad.
Yeah, he does. He's really tan too, isn't he? He's got all the makeup.
Well, that's the style, baby. Everybody was tan in the 50s. If you're on film,
tan with the black slicked hair and
slick 50s hair. What do you think about him, Derek?
I mean, I think you guys pretty well covered it. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah, he's fine. What do you guys think about Ellerby or Bristol? Bristol, the manservant.
I liked him. His voice sounded really familiar to me, and I couldn't figure it out if he ever did anything.
I don't know. Harry Ellerby is his name. I think he's actually pretty interesting. Right? I think he's pretty interesting.
The Outer Limits. One Step Beyond.
Because he has like kind of like a comforting presence about him at times, and then like but he's Weasley, and he's like just like master.
Like something's a little off with this guy because he's just like, I'm probably just gonna go down with the house when it falls down.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
What do you guys think about Madeline, the actress that plays Madeline? Myrna Fahy. Yeah.
She's really pretty. She does a pretty decent job.
Yeah, I think she's like him is a little stiff through most of the movie. I think she becomes less. I think her best parts of her performances are at the end when she's kind of crazy, but that's more hair and makeup doing its job.
Yeah.
She's
and
fine.
Cinematography for sure.
Oh man, cinematography rips when she's crazy. And then of course we have Vincent Price as Roderick Usher. What do we think about Vincent Price?
I kind of like him with the blonde hair.
I love it.
He's great. His performance is really great in this movie, I think.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's the reason you watch this movie for sure.
Yeah. Because I love the little nuances he puts into certain things, like when he's trying to do like the way he like kind of facial expressions when the things are painting his ears
and it's so good.
Yeah.
If those other actors had like just half the talent, it's a smidge of the talent that Vincent Price has in this movie. What do you think? So charismatic. I just can't even help it. I just love it.
What do you think about his performance, Derek?
I think for the most part it's pretty good, and he always has a great presence about him.
Oh yeah, his presence is off the charts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a magnet, man. That you're drawn to him. So he kind of made the movie.
I particularly love. There's a bit that I think is a lot of fun, really fun acting, is when after she supposedly died, and she's in her crypt and she's starting to move, and he's like,
Yeah, like,
"That
oh,
shit
gotta
fucking
shut
kills
that door.
me." It's so funny. He's like,
Yes, me too.
kind of raises an eyebrow, seeing if he sees it. I can't bear to see her again.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's a really interesting character, Roderick, because you know, he's obviously crazy. He's mad, but he seems to be coming from like a very noble place, which is like, I don't want our bloodline to continue because we're all pieces of shit. And there's madness in all of us. And so you're like, I gotta respect that. However, you can't just lock your sister in a room and say she's sick.
Lock
Because,
your sister in a room. More like lock her in a casket.
well, that's eventually. But I mean, before that.
No, I know. Yeah, yeah.
He kind of
I can't
has.
wait to get into the meats of this movie.
Well, we can. That's what we're here. Just talk about whatever. But I think he kind of has. He kind of has a sympathy to him a little bit.
he
Like
does. He definitely does.
you kind of feel sympathy for him at certain points, and then there's other points where you're like, "Oh, that son of a bitch," you know, like,
Yeah.
what an awful
You're like,
bastard.
I see where you're coming from, but you're terrible.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about, Derek? What do you want to talk about?
So this movie has a lot of really great qualities. We've talked about them. It kind of doesn't like do much. You know what I mean? Like there's only 4 people, and they kind
Right.
of go to the crypt a couple of times, and things like it's a little slow at times. And I kind of don't understand. Like he is crazy, and at the end, does he just drive his sister crazy because he locked her in a goddamn casket and she had to like claw her way out of that thing
So
eventually, or
that's the stuff that's open to interpretation. Yes, I think that obviously definitely that definitely sped up the craziness.
mm-hmm.
Because I think that she genuinely wants out, but her sister won't let her, her brother won't let her out. I think that she believes in the curse because her brother tells her to believe in the curse. But
Mm-hmm.
it's open to interpretation if the house really is haunted by um, the Ushers because they are this terrible bloodline, and we do know that the land has famished, went from being like this illustrious place to this nothingness, and especially when Roderick walks us through the halls of you know all of the which, by the way, the paintings are pretty fucking cool,
Yeah, they're
They're so
beautiful.
scary.
They
especially like
are
the red
really
eyes. They're
scary.
really fucking creepy.
I wonder what they went for in auction.
Yeah.
Because they were
Awesome.
really cool.
Yeah, awesome. I was like, oh wow. um so I think that there is something to the house, obviously, and something to the bloodline, something to the family, because he breaks down. This person did this awful shit. This person did this awful shit. This person did this awful shit. Awful shit. Awful shit. Awful shit. And
Yeah,
it's like,
captain. One of them was like a captain. That made me laugh.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it is a little deliberate with his pacing, but I think that's twofold, right? I think it's A, because of the budget, and B, um, the story itself of the fall of the House of Usher is there's not a lot there.
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. Not only is it a slow burn, but it's literally 2 3 people, 2 people in a room talking for almost the entire story. Because Matheson made a couple of pretty interesting choices with the adaptation. One of which is to make Philip be the fiance of Madeline, and for him to have like an adversarial relationship with Roderick. In the story, Philip is Roderick's friend. He comes there to visit his friend Roderick and finds him going mad, essentially. So I think that's an interesting dynamic to have the Roderick character, Vincent Price, be the antagonist. And I think maybe it was done because they were going to cast Vincent Price, so let's make him the antagonist, right?
Yeah, he's just so good at that.
Yeah, and that way they could also have a love story, a romance. Because in the story, it's kind of similar to Telltale Heart to a degree, where he can hear her, and he's telling him about all the things he can hear with the sister, and then she comes in mad, and the whole house crumbles, kind of like in the movie. So yeah, what do we think of like the plot itself? Since we know what the adaptation was, in the way the story is told.
I still think he's just nuts, and because so we're exposed to a lot of things growing up, right? So I kept trying to figure this movie out. Like they didn't want to like open up the windows so they could hear things like minute sounds. So I'm thinking, okay, are they a clan of vampires? These are like the thoughts I had as I was going through this movie, and then she seems so normal, and he is so eccentric, and he's a painter. So when he has painted these portraits, it kind of makes you wonder if like that's how he saw the people. Were they really those people? This movie's kind of a conundrum. In a, you've got to go based on what this guy is telling you, but you're slowly learning that he's mad. So I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I've not read
However, I
the
think
short story, so I don't
I
know
think it
anything
also
about that.
leans, but I think by the end of it leans pretty heavily into the supernatural, and it does throughout the movie, right? Like
It kind of does,
that,
yeah.
it does with like the coals jumping out of the fire at him, the gruel almost burning him, because fucking old old fucking Bristol's got to be making his gruel,
And the house is just like shifting and like.
and the crack keeps growing, the divide, you know. So I think there is supposed to be a power to the house, and the power to their evil bloodline, because they're all swallowed up by the house except for Philip, who escapes. Also, I don't know when the story takes place. It's obviously in the 1800s, some point, right?
Probably
Yeah, they
1900s.
didn't have electricity.
Yeah, early 1900s, something like that. Because um, the dating practices in those days were fucking wild.
Oh yeah.
They're engaged. They only saw each other in Boston, and then he moved back. She moved away, and then he's like, "I am her fiance." And she's like, "Oh, you came here just to see me?" Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
Very romantic. Very
Very.
romantic for a man to go out of his way. Are you kidding? That's all we want.
Oh man.
You
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
thinking about me?
So
There was one scene where he was trying to feed her that mud pie or whatever
Gruel?
it was,
the gruel.
the gruel.
What
And
did
he
you
was like,
call
no.
Mud pie.
it?
And
Fred.
Basically.
he's like, no wife of
It's oatmeal.
mine will be will be, I
Scrawny.
don't know how he,
Yeah.
scrawny.
Scrawny. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trying to
I don't
force
have
it
a
down her throat. I'm like, whoa, buddy,
yes.
slow your roll.
That was kind of sweet. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't have
I don't want no
wife in
scrawny
my
woman.
house.
Yeah. It's like, come on, eat. But what was great, he's like, let's make her some eggs. Uh, they can't. They their senses are heightened. She can't eat anything. So, like, what I'm wondering is, how long did he know her in Boston if he didn't know any of this stuff about her?
Yeah, like
Did he
did
like
she
meet her
not
one
eat
day?
there?
Yeah, did he meet her one day? He's like, we're engaged.
That's what I'm saying,
Or
man.
she's like,
It's a psychosis. That guy is
yeah.
now sucked into Roderick's or whatever Vincent Price's character is like
Yeah.
his
Roderick.
psychosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. It kind of seems like it's like these clues that are telling you that it's not a haunted. It's kind of like keeps you wondering what it is, which is nice.
But the
And
end, it is.
It looks pretty supernatural when it
Yeah.
zooms in on her eyes, and she's just
yeah,
mad,
and
the
chandelier, the chandelier falls, almost hits him.
Mhm.
There is one scene that actually made me laugh out loud. That you know which scene I'm talking about, right? It's the dream sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Dream sequence. Nightmare is fucking. First of all, it's so long. Goes on way too long, and it's so cheesy. It's like the cheesy. It's like the skeleton laying there, and he's like, It's so funny. That's the one scene that I was, and plus he's like
the colors.
Yeah, and he's moving in slow motion. He's like,
yeah,
like flinging himself around. I was like, what the fuck? Also, the other part that really makes me laugh, another part that I think is cheesy, because I think for the most part the movie is pretty good. I mean, it has a great atmosphere, but when he's looking for her, when he's like, I'm gonna tear the house apart, and he goes down in the basement and he like moves 3 objects. He just kind of throws them around. He's like, oh. And then he lays down. I'm so exhausted. I was like, what the fuck?
the air quality isn't very good down there.
Very good. He was like, he was sweating. You're meant to believe that he's been down there for hours looking.
Yeah, he is
whatever. And I was like,
I
mean, the house is pretty big, but I mean, you could have probably found her by that point if you were looking for hours.
It's it doesn't seem like the biggest house because we only see like a few rooms. So.
Yeah, we only see a handful of rooms because that's the only sets they could afford. So that's where the movie is.
Some hallways and some stairs and
some drawing rooms, bedrooms, and a drawing room. Yeah, my favorite. Yeah. I also love the bit where Vincent Price is playing the lute, right?
Oh my gosh!
And there's a bit where
that's like, probably the funniest thing, honestly.
He's like, lovely. Did you compose it? And I was like, that sounded like shit. What are you doing? Sounding thing. But he's like,
maybe that was his way of, slighting him. Like, oh yeah, that's great. You must have made that.
That was exactly the way somebody plays a lute that has never touched an instrument before.
It's so funny. He goes, the way he said it, he's like, lovely. Did you compose it? He's like, yeah. And I laughed so hard. I was like, fuck.
Yes, I did just now off the top of my mind.
I made it up right now. It's literally me just plucking these 2 strings over there, blank, 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 blank.
without pressing. Like he's not.
He doesn't fret anything.
Not hitting any fret. It's just all open. Somebody should have told him to just like literally press one of the strings down.
God,
and it went that good. last note is just like an open like flat N or something. And
it's
like,
awful. It's awful. It's awful.
The worst note you could hit.
So funny. And I love when he goes into the room and he says something about him like, you're a musician or you're an artist, and it's like, artist I'll give him. I think musicians giving him too much credit.
Yeah.
Oh god, that part is so good. When he goes into the room and the lute's laying there upside down, I was like, yeah, that's how that thing should fucking be. I'll leave it there.
That's so funny. I really want a lute now, though.
Anyone can play it. Vincent Price fucking teaches lessons on it.
That's just me. That's me when I pick up Jake's ukulele and I'm just sitting in the corner of the room like, ding.
Feel the fury, Mitch.
Are you here for the feeding?
Tom Green took some lessons from this movie.
Yeah, I did. Inspired by.
So yes. The music. Let's talk about the music real fast. What do you guys think of the score of this? It's a little melodramatic, I think.
Yeah,
But it's not bad. Not in a bad way. But I do think it's a little it's over the top.
Which is what I like in a good old Halloween movie.
That was the
It's
way.
like,
That was the way.
this is what I need to hear
I
in my
think
spooky castle.
I think for most of the movie, the score is actually really good. It fits, but there's one bit where it's really fucking. You know which bit I'm talking about, Lydia?
I think so. Yeah, it's like kind of
What
out of
bit?
place. But go ahead. I mean, like, because we already talked about the 3 minutes at the beginning. So
Yeah, there's a bit like it's when he's like going into like the secret tunnels. Like so, there's this stretch where he's going through the tunnel. Like he finds a secret passage and he's chasing her and he's finding secret passages. The music does this like really weird thing when he's in there, and I don't quite like. I didn't write it down like what it
yeah,
did,
there was
but it
something
does like
off though.
like something like really off, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
what is going on here? Like, what do you do? Like, they didn't fit the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I did clock that as well.
Yeah,
Of just being like, something is a little off in the scene.
something's a little weird. Yeah, but for the most part, it's fine. But let's talk about the atmosphere of the movie because I think this movie excels in the atmosphere department.
hmm Yeah, you get the house. I mean, the imagery of the house itself, which I don't know if that was a miniature or a matte painting. I
It's a
couldn't even tell
miniature.
what was going on.
It's a miniature because the reason I think it's a miniature is because when they burn it at the end, it's definitely a miniature.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
so
So you've got the miniature of the house and like all the trees. You see the swamps. You see the which makes it atmospheric in itself. But also, you always have him going over to the window and like just kind of looming and like this whole
that's what
the
he's doing.
the
He does
castle, the
this.
furniture, the tapestries. Yeah, yeah,
This is it.
exactly.
Here it is. that's it, right? That's it.
I just want to be him. I think I am gonna be him someday. Roderick. I'm gonna go mad painting in a castle somewhere.
And dye your hair blonde.
Yeah, I will beat it. I've done it before. If you go back to the beginning of this podcast,
Yeah, you did have blonde hair for a minute.
blonde mohawk for a while. I think
Mohawk. You had a mohawk at one point. Yep.
I should have done it like Roderick's. He's my
If
inspiration.
only.
With red
Yeah, Derek.
velvet
What do you
blazer.
What do you think of the atmosphere of this movie?
Well, I think they did a good job of setting the atmosphere for sure. I think the money they spent on like the stage, like the shooting, like it was shot on a stage, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the
they
sets.
nailed it. Like it's gorgeous. It is when you think of an old creepy haunted house, like that's a pretty good representation of what I imagine it looking like. So kudos.
Yeah, I agree. I
The
agree, and I
I think
good,
the only
Lydia.
problem is the lighting at a few points when it's supposed to be really dark and they just can't bring themselves to make it dark.
Dude, that's my favorite. Actually, I was going to point that out. I'm glad you mentioned that. It's
The
always
candles.
really bright. It's always really brightly lit. I mean, that's just the style. It's stage lighting. But yes, there's a bit where whenever they light a candle, they blast the light. And if they blow out a candle, they like turn off a light. But there's a bit where where they're going down to the crypts, and Bristol grabs the torch and lights it his way. He lights this torch, and the light puffs on, and it's so funny because he's holding the torch, and that's supposed to be the light source, but you can see the shadows of all of them on the wall because the light source is
Giant
literally
shadow.
blasting right in front of him.
Yes. The same with he's like reading the names. She's reading the names on all the tombs in the basement, and there's just like a massive shadow behind the candle. I was like,
where the light's just blasting. Yeah.
yeah, it really is. It made me laugh.
Yeah, that's
understand.
just. I mean, that's just the way it is. I clocked that too, and it made me laugh a little bit. It kind of added to the charm, but I was like, yeah. The one going down into the crypt, I really clocked. That made me laugh a lot. I was like, so if I was being like really like nitpicky, and I wanted to be technical about lighting, especially
Yeah.
modern lighting, where movies are supposed to be representations of real life a lot of times.
Seamless.
You're like, where's this light source? Because I mean, some cinematographers, like Ben, for instance, would like, uh, like slave over. Where is this light source coming from? Where are we lighting? And then some cinematographers are like unmotivated light. They're like, well, we need this to be seen. Put a light up there and shine it down so that way we can see him. It's what we got to do.
This one was like, let's put a giant fog light right in front of this candle.
That way we can see the crypt name. We have to see it. We have to see that it clearly says Captain fucking whatever his name was, fucking Captain Usher.
Yeah.
I want to do a parody of this where it's going through all the Ushers, and then of course it has Usher.
Usher.
Yeah,
Usher.
like when you're going through the paintings, and it's like, John Usher, Franklin Usher, Theodore Usher, Usher, and it's just the singer Usher.
Yeah.
He just keep
Maybe
going
that's
through.
where he got his name.
And then the next one is like, it's like, and of course Theater Usher, and it's just a theater Usher.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't steal my ideas for our Fall of the House of Usher parody that we're making now. So guys, that is Fall of the House of Usher. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we nailed it all.
Okay. Good. So what do we think of the fall? So this is interesting. So this movie is technically called House of Usher. That's what it's been. That's what it was, House of Usher. However, it's also known as the Fall of House of Usher on certain things. So like if you stream it, like if you watch it on Tubi, it's literally called the Fall of the House of Usher. And I was so confused when I was trying to find the movie. Because I was like, the image was black and white for some reason. I knew the movie was in color. And then
you're welcome.
It was
Derek.
called The Fall of the House of Usher, and I was like,
I was just waiting for it. I knew at some point it was going to come up.
Look, Derek had no trouble finding the movie. He was like, fucking must be it. But I was so that part's confusing. So the story is called The Fall of the House of Usher, and multiple different interpretations and adaptations of this movie are called that, including the new Mike Flanagan Netflix series is called The Fall of the House of Usher. So that's confusing. But what do we think of this movie, Derek?
I will preface this with this movie was not meant for me. It was a little slow. I'm not a huge fan of older movies. I think her fiance, he does that style of acting that feels more stage compared to someone like Vincent Price, and it might have just been like where they were in their careers. Like Vincent is just amazing in everything that he does. So yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know that I would watch this movie again. I'm going to give it a 4, but I thought it was beautiful. Like everything that we talked about as far as cinematography, whoever did the stage design, like A+. It was beautiful.
What do you think, Lydia?
Dang, I did not think of a rating.
We only do this every week.
I know. I don't know why. I was just like, sometimes I just take them in and I just accept them. I'm just like, yep. And then I just like, oh, I forgot to judge that.
Like, yep, that was one.
I can definitely see where Derek's coming from with like, it's kind of slow. It's kind of, I feel like this is one that you really have to be in a mood for, which is like a very specific, like Edgar Allan Poe type of mood, to be in this story. But I really like Edgar Allan Poe stuff, so it wasn't too much of a stretch for me. And Vincent Price is like the best ever, so I really liked it. I think the other actors weren't nearly as good as Vincent Price, but the cinematography was really good, really cool. I don't know what the 3-minute music was at the beginning, but maybe more movies should do that. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's just what it's like. If I didn't fast forward through it out of confusion, I probably would have. It might have helped the movie a little bit.
Got into the mode.
Yeah, exactly. I should have like had the lighting all like color changing. But I think I think I'll probably give this one like a. I'll probably give it like a 5.5. I don't know.
Real
I
quick,
really don't. I genuinely don't know.
I just want to say how happy I am that I was not the only person who restarted the app.
No, I was
I
actually
trusted
getting
the
angry.
process.
I'm not gonna lie. I was getting angry. I was like, God, I just want to watch this movie. I don't want to have to, Like
Whoever made that
it took me forever
choice.
to find it. Took me forever to realize that this is the one I wanted to watch, and now here I am trying to watch it, and it just won't let me watch it. And
Whoever made that choice was trolling us in the future. Like they're like, this will really teach them.
Fucking fast forwarded through, and then it started. I was like, oh, okay, here we are, guys. Okay, so here it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna surprise you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Because
I'm already surprised.
I like this movie. I liked it. And I mean, I always knew I thought it was fine and liked it, but on this watch, it's not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like gonna watch it every Halloween either. But I think it's pretty well made, even with its faults. And I think because of knowing the budget, knowing the stuff with it, those kind of things, I like this movie. I think more than both of you, because I'm gonna give this movie a 6.5.
Hell yeah.
I quite liked it.
Sure, you don't want to make it a 6.66?
I really like. I think it's because I think the direction is really solid. I think the central performance, Vincent Price's performance, is really good, and I think I really love the direction and the blocking in the camera movements. And yeah, there's some story issues where it could be a little slow, but I'm gonna tell you, I was never bored. I wasn't like clock watching and being like, God damn, when's this thing gonna end? I was just kind of enjoyed hanging out in this spooky mansion with these fucking kooky characters. I was like, let's see Vincent Price do some more weird shit with that loot. Let's see what's going on. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's like the best movie ever made or anything, but it is very solid. As a matter of fact, you guys, this is going to surprise you. Derek, did you know that this movie was actually inducted into the National Film Registry in 2005? So it's actually in the halls of Congress for being culturally and historically and aesthetically significant. So
that is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Pretty good movie. Good pick, Lydia. So now comes the easy part of this thing, where we're going to Atkinize this movie.
Thrill me.
Who is Tom Atkins going to play, and why is it going to be Philip?
It's Philip.
Yeah, it's definitely her fiance.
I mean, you could not replace Vincent Price in this role.
No.
And, I mean, he could be the girl. That would make things interesting.
Or the caretaker. Or the caretaker.
Oh, yeah, it could be the caretaker. But yeah, I think Philip makes the most sense.
Yeah, he would obviously be Philip. All right, guys. Now it's time to continue our Halloween traditions. With my pick. We are going to watch 2018 slasher flick called Hellfest.
Hellfest, okay.
Hellfest, that's right. It is currently streaming on Tubi. Next week, be sure to tune in and we will watch Hellfest. It is on Tubi. Join us for our month-long Halloween spooktacular. Our 5th annual Halloween spooktacular. So check out Hellfest. Be sure to follow us online at HiLaProductions.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at HiLa Productions. Be sure to comment down below on your thoughts on this film particularly. What do you think of Vincent Price? What do you think of these older movies? You want us to do more older ones, more modern? Tell us what movies you want us to do. We kind of have our Halloween slate picked out, but we don't have anything for Thanksgiving yet. Please give us some shit that's not Thanksgiving, and we will be forever in your debt. Also, don't forget to stay tuned after the episode for the opening scene to our feature film that we are making called Secret Admirer. It is a slasher. It's a lot of fun. We're in the process of raising funds for that. So stay tuned on how you can help us with that and any updates. But until then, till next week when we journey to Hellfest. For Derek Master and Lydia Judy, I'm Jamie Hiles. Remember, folks, if you're going to scream, scream bloody movies.